Happy New Year to all y'all. I'm Jon Rawl, y'all.com, and this is our first interview. Believe it or not, we've had, because of the virus and such, we've not been able to be on here as much here in year 2022, but we're hoping to have that change starting right now as we begin this new year with a very special guest here on y'all.com and the Y'all Show. His name is Bill Dance, and if you have ever tuned in weekend television, you have likely seen Bill Dance doing his thing across the lakes of the Southeast and more. And we're just so excited to have Bill Dance, fisherman extraordinaire and TV host, join us right now on y'all.com to talk about his newest endeavor in his native Tennessee. Bill, welcome in to the Y'all Show.
It's good to be with you again, John. Hope
Yes,
you're
sir.
doing well, my friend.
I'm doing well. You and I had a chance to talk just before 2021 came to an end, and that was
That's
just
right.
a few weeks ago. Have you put in a lot of fishing since then?
Well, we've done a little bit, not as much as we'd like to, but we've been able to go a little bit here and there. We've water temperatures dropped pretty fast, but fish have got to eat to survive. So you've got to just slow the pace and psych yourself to a point where you're not going to catch maybe as many fish as you'd catch in 70-degree water as you would in, say, 40-something degree water. But you can catch them if you fish slow and work areas slowly and carefully. We've been managed to catch a few fish, but it's nothing like it would be in another couple of months when the water temperature gets on up in the 60s and 70 degrees. Our water temperature right now in most area lakes, I'm in West Tennessee, and our most of our lakes are running in the low 40s, 41 to 43 degrees. So fish can be caught if you fish clear water, you fish slow and methodically with a slow presentation and with slow presentation baits. And the key is fishing clear water.
Okay, I'm writing all this down, Bill. I think
Did I talk too fast?
no, you didn't. I think you probably have a little bit more fishing experience than me and most of our viewers here and listeners. So we'll have to take your advice on that. But clear water is the key. If you had, let's say, an off season, would this time of year be a Bill Dance off season?
It would. Things kind of slow down, and we'll start really getting busy pretty quick now. We've got our tackle shows will start jumping up. Personal appearances will start moving. We'll start working on our social media stuff. We'll start working on our saltwater series a little bit later in the spring. We'll start on our freshwater series. We shoot 39 original shows a year, which we've been doing for quite some time now. We shoot 26 original freshwater, and then we shoot 13 saltwater. And those run continuously 52 weeks a year with an overrun and overrun and overrun. So with repeats. So we're on air on the Outdoor Channel and the Sportsman Channel 52 weeks a year. And then, of course, you can pick us up on the YouTube channel, too, as well. So with our social media on all three websites and YouTube channel and the Sportsman Channel and the Outdoor Channel, we blanket with a tremendous amount of runs for this year. We'll be airing quite a bit, so you can check your TV guide or check your website as to our times of airings in your market area.
And Bill Dance, our special guest here, is no newcomer to television, as he has been doing this for 50 plus years. And it was a Memphis TV station. Yeah, it was a Memphis TV station where you kind of got your start, right?
Right. We started Memphis back in the 60s. We had somebody from Jackson, Tennessee, Lance Russell, who did the wrestling promotion. It really kicked off wrestling in the Memphis market. And I went to that ABC affiliate in Memphis with the idea of doing a local show. And he had done a show locally for WBBJ in Jackson. and he was interested. He said, "Yeah, I think we got something here." And he gave me a shot at it. And had it not been for Lance, I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing today. And we started a local show in the Memphis market. They had a sister station, I believe, in Jackson, Mississippi, that asked me would I do one for them. And I said, well, sure. So with the capital being in Jackson, I had a good draw with the governor liked to fish, the state people, tourism department liked to fish, head of game and fish liked to fish, boating safety liked to fish. So I had a good draw to bring guests into the station there for taping. So I would tape 4 shows there. And then WBRZ, Channel 2 in Baton Rouge said, hey, their sister station said, hey, how about doing one for us? I said, why not? So I was young at the time and I was real energetic, and I agreed to do one for them. And then a little station in Paducah, Kentucky, J.C. Penney, believe it or not, back then was selling sporting goods. And the station there said, how about doing one for us? So I was doing 4 markets: Paducah, Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and doing 52 weeks a year, 4 shows a year. 4 shows a week. So 4 times 52 is 208.
And those are all different shows, Bill?
No, I was doing 208 shows a year, but I would intermix the shows. Okay. Now, it might be a show from Reelfoot Lake in Tennessee, and maybe a show from Kentucky Lake, maybe a show from over at Pickwick. Then the next, it might be a show from Ross Barnett in Mississippi, an oxbow, Lake Washington, Lake Lee, Lake Concordia, along the Mississippi River, down around Jackson. Down in Louisiana, it might be one of the oxbows there, or the Atchafalaya Basin, something in Louisiana. And I would intermix these shows, and I would go into the markets, and I would intermix them. So let me show you a show this week that we had the opportunity to do in Louisiana, catching redfish in the marshes. And I would show that show in all 4 markets. And I would have a guest from that local area. And then I would intermix these shows, and I rocked along with that for a good time, John. And then it got to be where I was just passing myself back and forth, fishing national bass tournaments, working sponsored promotions, meet and greets. And I'd just come through Memphis and I'd wave at my family. They'd be out on the highway. Hey, there goes Daddy. Boom, and I'd go by. I think there in one span of time, in about a 2-month span, I slept in my own bed 4 times. But I was just going. And it got to the point where it was just nerve-wracking. And I gave my show in Baton Rouge to a good friend of mine who I had as a local guest quite often. I gave the show to him, and I gave up Baton Rouge. Eventually, I gave up Jackson, and I gave up Paducah. I kept the Memphis market. And then a syndicator approached me out of St. Louis and said, how about syndicating the show? And I syndicated I syndicated Outdoors with Bill Dance, which we changed, but I'll tell you that in a second. But we syndicated 50 network markets and eventually 90 network markets. Fast forward, TV Guide came out and it said Outdoors. And I asked the syndicator, I said, why do they put just Outdoors? Why don't they put Outdoors with Bill Dance? And he said, well, they don't have that much room in the Outdoor Guide to do that. And I said, well, I'm going to change that. So I changed it from Outdoors with Bill Dance to Bill Dance Outdoors. So then they started putting Bill Dance. And we started with the syndication. And syndication got real expensive. And cable was coming on way back yonder. We moved to ESPN. This was a long time ago. ESPN was a good network. We covered the country, Southern Canada, from Spokane to Los Angeles to San Diego to Phoenix to Santa Fe to Dallas to New Orleans to Miami to Raleigh, North Carolina to New York to Minneapolis, all the way across throughout the midsection of the country. We were everywhere. Everywhere ESPN aired, Bill Dance Outdoors was there. But after a couple of years, there was something missing. We didn't hit the demographics that we really wanted. Sponsors were semi-happy of the coverage, but all of a sudden a little network over in Nashville, Tennessee popped up called the Nashville Network. Well, we looked at that. Their demographics were just perfect. They had country western music. They had bull riding. They had NASCAR. And it was a perfect crossover for us. So we went and we talked to the Nashville Network. They said, we'd love to put you on our network. We started with the Nashville Network. We picked up national sponsorship. People like Walmart, people like Chevrolet, people like Purina. We picked up national sponsorships, and our ratings just went like this, just to the top. And we rocked along with great numbers, great viewership, happy sponsors for 15 years. Then the network did a flip-flop. Gaylord Enterprises kind of shifted their moves a little bit over in the Nashville area. They sold out to Viacom. The network kind of fell apart. We moved, we left, and went with another network called not the Outdoor Channels, something similar to that, for about a year. And then we moved to NBC Sports. And we were on NBC Sports, the Discovery Channel, the Outdoor Channel, and the Sportsman Channel. Those 4 channels we rocked along with for several years. And we found out demographically our biggest numbers and our loyal supporters were with these 2 networks, Sportsman Channel and the Outdoor Channel. From an expensive standpoint, we moved away from Discovery and we moved away from NBC Sports, which are 2 fine networks.
Yes, sir.
And that's where we are today. And that's what we're still doing. So with our social media network, with great sponsors like Tennessee Tourism, like the sponsors we've had for so many years, with the Sportsman Channel, with the Outdoor Channel, where we are, we're still kicking and still doing great. I didn't mean to drag you through all that, but I just kind of gave you a brief how we've climbed up the ladder into where we are from where we started to where we are today.
And we're glad you're still climbing. And
I am too, thank the good Lord.
and Bill, many of us have been admiring what you've done, and even some of us, in the case of yours truly, y'all's Jon Rawl, I was a TNN employee back in the 1990s when David Hall was leading that network.
Yeah, David, I love David.
And so I'm glad they gave you a chance there on Opryland Drive. And
yes,
I remember your shows, and also you had Joe Young doing some good stuff out of Fayetteville, Tennessee.
Absolutely.
So, and you're from Lynchburg, just down the road from Fayetteville.
Yeah, we had a great time with TNN doing the Ralph Emery show and all those great times. It was a great network. It really was.
It was. I wish it was here. If it was here, I might not be sitting here today. Oddly enough, you just mentioned Ralph Emery. We just lost Ralph in the last couple of days, and
truly, I know that it was sad.
He was truly a trailblazer in country music, just like you've been a trailblazer in the fishing industry.
Yes, he was, and thank you. Yep.
Speaking of Nashville, you may not be on the Nashville network, but you've been hanging out in the Volunteer State's capital city a long time, and because of that, a guy who is a fellow that lives right there in Davidson County, you and he have become buddies, fishing buddies, I guess you could say. His name is Governor Bill Lee, and y'all are doing something really cool in the state of Tennessee. Tell us about it.
Governor Lee he's a great guy. He really is. He's done so much for our state. He's just a wonderful fellow. If you could ever just meet him one on one and get him away from politics and just talk to him one on one, he's just a great fellow. And he believes in what we're doing. He believes in trying to help undeveloped areas across this state. He's given us a chance with our Bill Dance Signature Lakes. And what this is, Governor Lee signed it, opened it up, along with the state of Tennessee, Governor Lee, along with the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, with Tennessee Tourism, trying to remember everybody, and along with the Bill Dance team. The Bill Dance Signature Lakes is a new initiative to improve and enhance Tennessee lakes, increase visitation, and TWRA and the state is going to invest over $15 million in improvement, both above and below the water levels in 18 lakes. Now, the Bill Dance Lake team, along with Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Tennessee State Parks, and the Tennessee Department of Tourism Development, what we're going to do, we're going to be seeking to solidify Tennessee as the heart of fishing in the Southeast and drive economic activity across the state. You know, we're a long state. We're 400 miles wide. And people traveling up and down 55, I-65, I-95, I-75, we're on that north-south. Everybody's got to come through Tennessee. So Tennessee, we're just blessed with 26 major lakes. We're blessed. It's the home to 500,000 acres of lakes. And I believe I'm right on this, 1.7 million people who fish Bill Dance Signature Lakes will touch 39 counties, including 22 at risk or economically distressed counties. And it's important, it's just a major step in helping those communities create new revenue streams through increased visitation. Now, many of these lakes are very close to state lines. So they'll bring in our neighboring states. We've got a little lake right here in West Tennessee called Herb Parsons. It will draw people from Mississippi. It'll draw people from Arkansas, just right here in this corner of the state. What we're going to do with that lake, it's going to be a family fun lake. It's going to be a lake where you can bring your family and catch giant-sized bluegill, plenty of catfish. It's going to be a great lake. The lakes we're doing are going to be lakes that you can come to, have a good time, and catch fish. You know, fishing generates 1.2 billion in economic impact annually and supports over right at 7,500 jobs across the state. Now, the Bill Dance Signature Lakes, what that's going to do, it will include improvement or new development at each of the selected lakes, including development of 8 large reservoirs, their boat ramps to increase accessibility, to enhance the visitors' experience. The lakes will see above water upgrades such as courtesy docks, the parking, additional access points, fishing piers, signage, and a whole lot more. And additionally, TWRA will increase habitat management and stocking to assure above average success. Now, that's really important. People don't want to come to a body of water and just fish a body of water and not catch anything. I mean, that gets old. But you can be assured, working with TWRA, Tennessee Tourism, and our team, these lakes are going to produce fish. And when you come to these lakes, the predator-prey relationship is going to be well balanced. You're going to catch fish, and they're going to be well managed. And excuse me.
Is that a guarantee? Can you guarantee us this, Bill?
Pardon?
Can you guarantee that we're going to catch fish?
Yes. Yes. I promise you.
Okay.
Our agency partners, TWRA and Tennessee Department of Tourist Development, and the Tennessee State Parks, in conjunction with the Bill Dance organization, selected each lake for its ability to be a destination fishing location and provide, like I said, quality fishing fun for just the avid anglers as well as families. You can bring your family out there and catch fish and have a good time. I'll tell you this, fishing is without doubt, one of the most popular recreational sports in America. And American anglers go fishing on an average of 18 times per year. So if I could take all of this and put it in the pie, I'd just like to say, I just hope everyone within the sound of my voice will join me in taking someone new to one of our great lakes here in Tennessee. We've got some great fishing here. We hold the world record smallmouth bass, the world record walleye, the world record black crappie, and just recently, one of our lakes, Chickamauga, we caught the new state record 15-pound largemouth. We got a lot to brag about. So come here in Tennessee, go fishing with us. We'll show you how big of braggers we are.
You should. And Dr. Bill Dance has just given you that's your name, right? You got that degree down from the University of Tennessee?
I can tell you how to put a Band-Aid on a cut and what to take for a headache, aspirin. So no, that was a tremendous honor receiving that from the University of Tennessee, that doctorate degree. It really was for natural resources. It was really a tremendous honor to receive that honor. So, and to be able to work with Governor Lee and Tennessee Tourism and TWRA on this state project with these lakes is another tremendous honor. It's just, it's wonderful to have your name associated with, people say, well, how does that make you feel? It's hard to express a feeling. You can tell someone how you feel about something, and they say, oh, yeah, I know how you feel. But no, not really. I can put my finger on a hot coal or a hot stove, ouch, and I jerk my finger back. Or I can stick a hook in my finger, ouch, and it hurts. I can feel that pain. You can't feel the pain that I'm feeling at that moment. You can experience my expression and say, ooh, I bet that hurt. But you don't feel what I feel at the moment. You can't feel it because you're not in me. You're not in me. You don't feel my pain because you don't have the nerve endings in your body that I have in mine. So when someone presents you an honor, like Governor Lee giving me this tremendous honor of giving me 18 lakes, naming 18 lakes across the state after Bill Dance, or the University of Tennessee giving me the doctorate degree, what does that feel like? All I can tell you is it's just a feeling that words can't describe. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling and a wonderful, wonderful honor that goes real, real deep with me and my family. So I am so proud to be a Tennessean and to represent this great state. We have so much to offer, and we've got so many good people in our departments, from our tourism department, from our game and fish department, to our state department, and to our great governor. He has done so much for our state, and I'm up for him 100%. So I appreciate people like you, John, who help us pass the word of what we're doing and what the state of Tennessee is doing. So we've got a good thing here, and
Yes.
I'm real proud of it. I really am.
And the Bill Dance Signature Lakes, the latest good thing going on in the volunteer state. Now, we're a Southern show, so if you're watching this or listening to us in any of the other great Southern states, you need to get your state envious of what's going on in Tennessee. I don't think Bill Dance will have any problem with the Georgias and the Carolinas and the Kentuckys and Mississippis trying to mimic what Bill Dance is doing in the great state of Tennessee.
If you're up there, come on down. If you're down there, come on up. We welcome everybody.
Yeah, but we want to see something maybe in all these other southern states, kind of like what you're doing in Tennessee, so that fishermen everywhere will have great choices in their own states. But they also could go into places like Tennessee and hook up with big fish. Bill, you were just mentioning some of the great records of Tennessee. What is the biggest fish you've caught?
Well, in Tennessee, in fact, surprisingly, you'd think Florida. I caught my biggest largemouth in Tennessee, and I caught him up in a lake near McKenzie, Tennessee. It weighed 14 pounds and 1 ounce. My biggest smallmouth came from Pickwick Lake in Tennessee. It weighed 8 pounds and 3 ounces. So those are my two biggest fish. My biggest catfish came from the Mississippi River in Tennessee.
Are you sure about that?
Just north of, just out from a little town called Munford, Tennessee, about 35, 40 miles north of Memphis, up the Mississippi, weighed 110 pounds. So
Golly.
I've had some great fishing in this state, and still a lot more. We have great fishing all the way across the state. But of course, I do a lot of fishing in West Tennessee because that's where I live. But I've fished many Great Lakes across our state. So we've got, like I said, so much to offer, and so many great places to fish. If you like to fish trout, East Tennessee's got it. If you like to fish big stripers, we got it. If you like to fish muskies, hey, we got that too. If you like to fish smallmouth, this is a fabulous state for it. Big largemouth Chickamauga, smallmouth bass through eastern Tennessee from Dale Hollow, good largemouth, good catfishing in the Tennessee River, and then on over our way, you got good crappie fishing up at Reelfoot Lake, good catfishing, and we're going to have some good family-friendly lakes scattered out throughout West Tennessee too. So we're going to be covered. We're going to have some good places to go and good places to catch fish and have a lot of fun.
Bill Dance, it's been an absolute honor to have an opportunity to talk to you today. In fact, if you don't mind, I'll never be able to fish like Bill Dance, but perhaps for just one opportunity and one day, I might be able to look like Bill Dance.
Well, I'll send you a teacup, a pair of glasses.
Well, I got the hat. Okay. I'm missing the glasses. But
I can't see some prescriptions, so I got
okay.
The prescription. I wear them all the time. Sometimes I wear them in the house or I wear them after dark, and I realize I've got on something but the prescription, so I wear them most of the time. But I'll send you a pair of sunglasses and a teacup. And you say y'all a lot, which you say a lot, y'all.
That's my website, y'all.com.
Y'all.com, that's it, John.
So we got the South covered here. But no, we're glad to rep Bill Dance when we can, and maybe this will help me catch a whole lot more fish. Bill, thank you for the time. It's always great to talk to you, and best of fishing. And I hope you break those records even more this year with the size fish that you've caught in the past. Maybe 2022 will even be better for Bill Dance.
Well, I got a good chance to do it here in Tennessee. I appreciate you, John. Have
Appreciate
a good year.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck to you, my friend.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Everybody, Bill Dance, fisherman, TV host, and a great Southerner. We'll be back with more of the Y'all Show. Stay tuned.